Hey partiers, it's Ashley of Ashley's Fitness Party, and we're back with another video in my series, Let's Talk About. And today we're going to be doing part 3 of my migraine series. So thank you for being here. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you like what you see here today, make sure that you like and subscribe if you want to stick around and learn more about health and wellness and fitness. Other than that, let's go ahead and jump right in. Last time we did part 1 and part 2 in my migraine series. So we're going to start with part 3. We're going to jump right into it. I've been writing this one down because I want to read from it to make sure I don't miss anything. All right. So this part is going to be called anxiety, medication, and withdrawal. So at this point, my health anxiety was through the roof. I was prescribed lorazepam. It's what they call a benzo. It's short for a longer word, but if you just look up a benzo, you'll know what I'm talking about. They prescribed me lorazepam to help with anxiety from everything I was going through. And I was only on it for about a week. But when I stopped, I had to deal with withdrawal symptoms, some serious withdrawal symptoms. And those withdrawal symptoms were intense, especially the seizures or the seizure-like episodes. It made me immobile. I couldn't even drive my car. And I ended up needing medication to help manage the withdrawal symptoms. So I felt like my body was spiraling at this point, and I still didn't have answers. I started questioning everything. Was it neurological? Was it hormonal? Was it something rare that I was dealing with because these doctors didn't know what was going on with me? Was it just something that the doctors were missing? Because I was back and forth to the hospital, and I did so many blood withdrawals. I did so many tests and so many MRIs and X-rays and CAT scans, and I did everything. And I honestly was desperate to figure out what was going on. So I'm going to leave it there for part 3. I'll be doing part 4 and part 5 right behind this. But tell me your stories about benzos. Have you guys ever been on a benzo like lorazepam or something similar to that? I think some of the other ones might be called like lithium. I know there's a few others out there, but have you guys ever had to take a benzo? And have you ever had to either come off of it or taper off of it and still have withdrawal symptoms? If so, let me know in the comments. I want to know your stories about that. Before I go, I want to talk a little bit more about those withdrawal symptoms because they were very scary. Those seizure-like episodes that I was having, that was very scary because, like I said in the video before this, in part 1 and part 2, I used to have seizures when I was very young, from the age of 5 to the age of 11. I had actual, I think they call them grand mal or something like that seizures, where you literally fall out on the floor, you shake, you swallow your tongue. And then one time, one of my seizures was so bad, I ended up in a coma for 3 days. I was on medication to about the age of 11, and then they stopped. So I do know what it's like to have a real seizure. So when I say these seizure-like episodes, the doctors said they weren't. Well, the neurologist said it wasn't a full-blown seizure, but trust me, these were very seizure-like episodes. Now, there's different types of seizures. There's like focal seizures where you just kind of like stop moving, you stare out into the abyss, and everybody's like, hello, hello. And then it's like your body freezes up and you can't move, and you kind of just like black out in your mind, but your eyes might still be open. And then you come back to, and then people are like, what happened? And you don't know because you in your mind blacked out, but you were still conscious, your eyes were still open. So there's other types of seizures too, but those are the only two I can think of right now that I've experienced. And this was more like a focal seizure where I just kind of couldn't move, couldn't think, kind of like blackout, or like my body freeze up, or like, and it was accompanied by like flushing and all of that. So Um, these were the withdrawal symptoms, but like I said, I was already having some of these symptoms, but it was almost like the withdrawal from the lorazepam made it worse. Also there was like trying to think of some of the other withdrawal symptoms that I had. Shaking, a lot of shaking, like tremors. Um, yeah. And what I found out, what actually helped those withdrawal symptoms, those seizure like episodes, the tremors, all of that, the fatigue, was magnesium and vitamin D3. No one told me about this. The doctors definitely didn't tell me about this. I did my research. And funny enough, I found this information out on Quora. It's kind of like Reddit, but Quora is a space where people just kind of talk about their personal problems and things that they're going through in real life and just kind of compare notes. And I found it on Quora, and someone was talking about withdrawal symptoms from a benzo, and they were saying that they tried magnesium.